Hey guys, thanks for coming back, checking out the 80s Revolution. Tonight is my first ever Saturday night's movie event. Now, I did talk about earlier in another video that my first Saturday night's movie event was going to include some cooking. But unfortunately, I went out to eat tonight and I ate a lot of food and I just don't have an appetite for cooking. So next Saturday night's movie event is going to include some delicious man cooking, a little bit of drinking, a little bit of cooking. I've got the menu planned, something very simple, something very 80s, and we're gonna enjoy it. So that's next time. Tonight, we are definitely enjoying some adult beverages, got some movie time snacks, and we're gonna watch a classic horror film tonight on my first ever Saturday night's movie event. Definitely want to say thanks to the people who are subscribing. Keep them coming. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying interacting with some of you that are leaving comments, and I'm having a lot of fun making these videos. So tonight we're going to watch a movie, we're going to talk about the movie, we're going to drink some beer, we're going to eat some snacks, and later on after this, stick around, and I've got some eBay pickups, some pawn shop Blu Ray pickups to show you tonight. And also I want to give my thoughts on something that I'm not sure has been talked about. I don't know if anybody's been discussing this, but I want to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere. I might be the first person talking about it. I'm not sure, but you're going to come along for that breaking news. Tonight I'm enjoying an Oktoberfest from, and I'm not going to say it right, but Leinenkugels or Leinenkugels, not sure. But it's a delicious Oktoberfest that is quickly becoming one of my favorite beers. I bought this for the first time last night, went through a six-pack pretty easily. Really enjoyed this beer, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So when I went out tonight to grab something for Saturday night's movie event, usually I don't get the same six-pack I had, yesterday or the day before. I like to try lots of different stuff, but I got this again. That says something. This is really good. Really drinkable Oktoberfest. You think of Oktoberfest, you think of a seasonal, and this is advertised as a seasonal, but I would drink this in the summer. I would drink this mowing the lawn. I would drink this in the pool. I would drink this in the fall. I would drink this in the winter. It's subtle everything that makes a good beer. Okay, I drink a lot of heavier beers. I drink a lot of really active, really flavorful beers. So when I do that, my limit is like 2 or 3 because they're so powerful. Not alcohol content, but they're so powerful flavor. They're so heavy. There's so much going on with them. That I don't usually, I don't sit around and pound 8 Bud Lights. I kind of like to have 2 or 3, pair it with some food or some dessert, and really just enjoy the flavor. But this is a very easy drinking beer. Like I said, subtle everything, not too hoppy, but Oktoberfest beers have hops. They're there, you can taste them. But again, not an IPA, nowhere near that. Nothing too hoppy, nothing too overpowering, nothing too, grapefruity or anything like that. Oktoberfest has malt, but not too malty. This is not a heavy, stouty beer. Just a good, subtle amount of malt, a good, subtle amount of hop, a good, subtle amount of caramel flavoring. Really makes for an easy drinking beer. And it's not a light beer by any means, but it's definitely not a heavy beer either. It's not dark in color. It's a sort of a darker amber, but certainly not a stout colored beer. Not a chocolatey colored beer. Just a really good out of the bottle beer that I would, like I said, enjoy even during the summer. So that's what we're enjoying tonight. Oktoberfest by Leinenkugels. And I know that this company makes a summer shandy too. And I can't stand those beers. I can't stand lemonade beers or shandies or anything like that, but this is the company that makes it. So if they keep putting out the Oktoberfest, then I'll keep coming back. Sláinte. Also, Like I said, I wasn't cooking tonight. I won't tell you what I was going to cook. I'll save it. It's a treat. It's a surprise. But I did pick up some movie snacks. I like pretzels. Snyder's makes a good pretzel, obviously. And we've got Snyder's cheddar cheese filled pretzel sandwiches. I wanted to save the bag for Saturday night movie event, but I didn't because they're just that good. Nothing better than pretzel and cheddar cheese together. Nothing better than pretzel and peanut butter together. And they had both, but I wanted to grab these. So you can take a look. Oops, I'm out of the camera. Just your standard Snyder's pretzel in a wheel. Nice little amount of cheddar cheese in there. Could do with some more cheese, but these are all right. Enjoying those. Been enjoying them all night long. I've enjoyed about 85% of the bag, even though I wasn't hungry. So, what are we watching tonight? Well, I thought, okay, when you guys are seeing this, it's going to be Halloween. So I'll watch Halloween. Not my favorite franchise. Obviously, Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise is an icon of horror movie fans and obviously the genre, but to me, it's kind of in the distance. My like I've mentioned before, my all-time top two or tied for first place favorite franchises is really simple and common and elementary and generic, but it's Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. I love Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street series. So, Michael Myers is obviously in that category, and obviously for many people he's above the two that I just mentioned. But for me, I wouldn't even call him a distant third. He's lower down the list. I'm not a huge fan of the Halloween franchise, but I do have them obviously, and I do enjoy them. So I didn't want to watch that tonight. If I was going to pick a all-time favorite classic, Halloween themed movie or Halloween horror movie, I would have gone with Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1. I was going to do that tonight, but I decided not to. Maybe we'll save that for another time. But tonight I wanted to go back in time a little bit and enjoy a classic. A classic that I recently picked up on Blu Ray at Best Buy for, I think, $5.99. I'm not confident about that. It could have been $9.99, but regardless, a good price for a classic must-have horror icon that, to me, I see more of like a psychological thriller, a suspenseful thriller, an Alfred Hitchcock mind-twisting thriller with some horror elements. And of course, I'm talking about Psycho. Certainly not Vince Vaughn's Psycho, but the classic original that everybody must have. And there's no review that I can do that hasn't been done before. There's nothing new that I can say about this movie that hasn't been said. It's a fantastic all-time great. Like I said, it's obviously placed in a horror category. I see it more, like I said, as a drawn-out, suspenseful thriller with the psychological elements that Alfred Hitchcock is known for. Really great. What I think is like decade-based cinematography. We're talking about 50s and 60s here, and just that great, film noir, 50s, 60s, black and white kind of atmosphere that just draws you right in. Really fun to watch this movie, to observe this movie, to enjoy the scenery, to enjoy, just some remnants and elements of a time that's just way long ago. Good stuff. No gore in this movie at all. This classic shower scene that everybody is overly familiar with. Gore-free. Not a single laceration is seen on Janet Leigh's character in this movie. You do see some, blood sort of stuff mixing in with the shower water, but that's about as gory as it gets. And I like that. I like that approach to, movies like this. So we're gonna kind of lay back. It's a little late tonight. It's almost midnight on Saturday. This is gonna go up on Monday, so you'll see this on Halloween. I'm gonna lay back, check this out, and then later on we'll come back from the Nerd Cave, and like I said, we'll talk about some pickups that I've gotten over the past week, some eBay packages to unwrap for you, some pawn shop DVD pickups, and like I said earlier, I want to give my thoughts on The Walking Dead. So stick around, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna watch this, you guys go do something, and in about I don't know, about 3 seconds we'll be coming at you from the Nerd Cave. See you soon. All right, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video here. I am coming at you now live from the Nerd Cave. Just finished Psycho, finished a few more Lane and Hugel's Oktoberfest beer. Absolutely fantastic. Like I said, quickly becoming one of my favorite go-to drink out of the bottle, drink a bunch of them, enjoy beers. So, Psycho, what can you say? I mean, again, what can you say that hasn't been said already? Absolutely classic, a must-have, a must-see for any fan of this genre. If you're a horror fan, absolutely. If you're a psychological thriller, Alfred Hitchcock suspense, 50s, 60s, black and white, film noir, fantastic atmosphere fan, you gotta see Psycho. Everybody's seen it. Who am I even talking to right now? So we're gonna just jump ahead to some pickups. And like I said, I want to get my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere. Spoiler alert for the half of a person who hasn't seen it. Let's get right into the pickups. Okay, quickly, I will go through these are pawn shop Blu-rays. This is not Tuesday DVD Blu-ray shopping release day. This is pawn shop pickups. Like I said, my flexibility at my job, my career, allows me to kind of spend some time, out of the office, and I go check out pawn shops, and they're not getting restocked as much as I thought they would with Blu-rays, but I go and I find something new every once in a while. So, here's what I got. A couple of different genres. Adding to my I Love the 80s Revolution collection is Tom Cruise Risky Business. Again, what I feel is a must-have for any 80s movie fan or any person from this generation that wants a good movie. A young Tom Cruise in one of his first and I think most important roles to his career. Sort of typical story of teenage boy left alone with his friends while his family is out out on vacation. There's a couple of different twists to the movie, but it's basically about the adventures and shenanigans, if you will, that this guy gets into while his parents are away. Rebecca De Mornay, gotta tell you, this was the first. Well, not him, but Rebecca De Mornay was the first naked woman I saw in a movie. She's fantastic in this film, absolutely sexy, just good stuff. Check out Risky Business. Grab this at a pawn shop for all of $2.49. Boondock Saints Part 2. I don't have Boondock Saints Part 1 yet. I have it on DVD, obviously, but I'm obviously switching over and upgrading. Love this movie. Little Daryl Dixon in here before he was Daryl Dixon. Great Irish cultural mob sort of gang shoot 'em up movie. Good stuff. Awesome, not cameo, but awesome. In Boondock Saints 1, you don't get much of Billy Connolly. In Part 2, you get a whole lot of Billy Connolly, and he's great. He's just fun. He's a badass, Billy Connolly. Boondock Saints Part 2. And a couple of my 2016 Jean-Claude Van Damme / Steven Seagal / Bruce Willis, Jason Statham. Big fan of this guy. I will get all of his movies except for the one with Jennifer Lopez because Jennifer Lopez is in it. But we're talking Crank and Transporter 3. Absolutely love this guy. Love anything he puts out. Love the over-the-top, action, and he just gets it. I mean, he's just a smooth cat. And I'm pretty sure he's just as smooth in real life, and I'm pretty sure he can, levitate in the air for like 19 seconds while he's kicking several people in the face in real life. I think he can do that in real life. So I picked those up. All 4 of those at this pawn shop called Mr. Seconds only cost me $10 and change. So we're talking, under $250 or about $250 for each Blu-ray, which I'm thrilled with. That is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Okay, eBay pickups. We're going to go through them quick because I want a little bit of time to talk about The Walking Dead. My favorite horror franchise, tied for first place, is this, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I was able to get part 1 on Blu-ray. Now I have part 2. There might be part 3 in this pile, but then I started to realize that I'm not going to be able to get part 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on individual Blu-ray. For some reason, those are getting extremely hard to find. And the box set is going for $200 and beyond, which to me is absolutely insane and unexplainable. That this collection of maybe 8 or 9 movies can go for $200. I will never pay that, and I just can't understand why people will do that. So what I've realized now is that 3 and 4 are on a 2-disc set, 5 and 6, 7 and Manhattan, and then I think Freddy vs. Jason and Jason X, I think, are on a 2-disc. So I got 2, and that's a good standalone, but 3 and 4 come together. So that makes this kind of a waste because I've got to get Friday the 13th Part 3 and 4 on a double pack Blu-ray. So I did pick this up and paid for it on eBay before I knew and did a little research and realized that I can't get 4 as a standalone. But that's okay. Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. That's not going to do much for me. It says it includes 2 pairs of 3D glasses, and it's brand new, so I'm guessing they're in there. Why don't we take a look? Let me get this thing open for you. Does it really have 2 pairs of 3D glasses? Yes, absolutely it does. So I'm good with that. I'm happy about that. That's okay. That makes it all better. 2 pairs of beautiful 80s don't work for shit 3D glasses came with my Friday the 13th Part 3 Blu-ray. So that's pretty cool. I will have to get, like I said, Part 3 and 4 in the double pack and go from there if I'm going to complete the series. So at some point in time, this might be a giveaway. I'm not sure. So I got 1, 2, and 3 now of my favorite horror franchise. What else is in here? A little receipt. This is from, I don't know. Doesn't say. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Rambo, the Rambo cartoon. I talked about that a little earlier in another video. 6 volumes of this, maybe 10 or 11 episodes per volume. This was a short-lived mid-80s cartoon, obviously, after the Rambo movies came out. This is actually a pretty good cartoon. This is a pretty action-packed, fun cartoon. The character who plays, does Stallone's voice is decent. This is fun. This is not brand new. This came used, but the disc, you probably can't tell, but is flawless. Seems perfect. So, got it for $4. I'm happy with that. So I've got volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So I need volume 5 to complete the 80s Rambo cartoon series. And we've got one more to go. What do you think it is? I have now completed the Rambo cartoon series. This is Rambo Volume 5, 11 action-packed episodes. So, coupled with Part 6, we now have Volumes 1 through 6 of the Rambo cartoon. That makes a complete set for me. I'm happy about that. I'm looking forward to checking this one out. The thing with me is, when I've decided now that when I watch a cartoon, if there's action figures available for it, I've got to get some. So right now I'm watching through the Turtles, original Turtles cartoon, and I've gotten the figures that I want. I got all of Series 1, and I was going to collect all of Series 2, but I kind of lost interest, and I ended up giving General Trag and Yojimbo, the rabbit, and I gave, I forget who else. I don't know, but I gave a couple to my 4-year-old. So I stopped at Series 1, and I got Krang from Series 2. I got Rat King and Baxter Stockman and Casey Jones from Series 2, because I think that they were, you know, bigger parts of the cartoon. I have no interest in going further with the collection of Turtles. They just get crazy in you know, Series 3 and 4 and beyond. Just multiple, you know, sort of, you know, not repaints, but taking the Turtles and putting them in different characters and different costumes and coming up with these villains that I don't even really know were in the TV series. Maybe they appeared for an episode, but just lots and lots of figures to complete the Playmates Turtles line, which I won't do. I'm stopping at the ones I have. I'm satisfied with that. I don't need vehicles. I'm good with what I got. So, like, after Turtles, I've got to decide which cartoon series I'll watch and which cartoon series will I buy some action figures for. Might watch Rambo, might watch the Chuck Norris cartoon set, which is only 5 episodes, and there's only, I think, 8 to 12 figures, so that should be an easy collection to complete. So, okay, so that's that. Those are my pickups for the week since the last time I talked to you guys. Tuesday, I'll go shopping, and I'll see if it's, even though it's after Halloween, I'm going to see if Best Buy brings in any new catalog horror titles that I've been really enjoying picking up lately. Those are the $5.99 ones that they have in the horror kiosk. I'm guessing that that's going to be taken down after Halloween, but maybe Tuesday there might be some newer catalog horror out there. Not sure, but I'm going to go shopping, and if I get something, I'll make a Tuesday Blu Ray shopping pickup video for you guys. So, real quick before I wrap this one up. I've been watching Walking Dead since, you know, since season 1. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it very much. I'm starting to fade from the series. I don't like things that go on too long. You know, Walking Dead's been on for 7 seasons. You know, I'm thinking in my head, how long can this go on? How many different adventures can they have to pique my interest? Isn't everybody just going to eventually die, kind of thing? So I will still watch it, and I still have interest in it, but it's fading a little bit. So I didn't care much that season 7 was coming. I wasn't carrying over the top. I knew I was gonna watch it. But now that I've seen it, I don't know if I'm going to continue watching the series. Why? Well, I am not a prude by any means, and I'm not anybody that promotes censorship or anything. I think you should censor within your own house. If you don't want your kid watching something, it's not up to the government to take it away from you. It's up to me to make sure that he doesn't see it, or that or that I explain to him what he's seeing. So I don't think that I'm against, violence on television. I'm a horror movie fan. I collect horror movies. The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere. All right, so turn this off if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, because spoilers are coming. But Abraham's death was fine. It was easy to take, no big deal. Fine, just like any other death in The Walking Dead. Glenn's death kind of messed me up a little bit in the head. Glenn's death was a little bit too real. I kind of felt like I was watching somebody be murdered on television. It really kind of didn't sit well with me. And I'm not, again, I read that the director said that, if people are having a hard time with what they saw, it's because I'm making them think about something that they don't want to think about or that they need to process. That's not true in my case. In my career, I deal with trauma and tragedy on a daily basis. So I've seen it all. I've heard it all. So I'm not unexposed in that nature, in that sense. But Glenn's reaction to being bashed over the head, the eye coming out, when he was talking to Maggie, saying his last few words, he was perfectly acting that. I mean, his voice even changed. His voice got deeper after he got hit in the brain. And I've got to think that a head injury like that might change the tone of your voice. His voice deepened. His tremoring and shaking was absolutely fantastically played, fantastically acted, but just a little too real for me. It was intense. It was sad. It was, again, it was like watching somebody be murdered on television. It was heavy. Maggie's acting was tremendous. Her reaction to Glenn being killed was very real. Rick's facial expressions, his acting was amazing. So I'm not taking anything away from the actors. They did in fact, they did too good of a job. It was just too intense for me. I'm not sure if it's my cup of tea. Not sure if I'm coming back to the series. Let me know what you think. Am I out of my mind? Am I just being a big baby? Let me know. But I got to wrap this up quickly. My memory card's running out of time. Thanks for watching. Come back. More pickups. Thanks for checking out the 80s Revolution. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you.